Welcome to the Creole Collective podcast, where we love to create with Jesus, with all of you. We are so excited to create some new things today, Mike, right? We're going to do some fun things, talking about kissing and making out with each other. Is that what we're doing today, Mike?
Yeah, it's not going to happen, Jeff.
Dang! I'm off, man. I'm out. See ya.
Nice knowing you, buddy.
Oh, we got a fun episode. As people tune in, they're like, "What? What did I just click on?" No, kissing, like, what is that? Greeting each other with a holy kiss, right? The whole one another of Romans 16:16 there, and yeah, when we think about that, what the heck was going on there? That sounds awfully intimate and awkward sometimes. I guess it depends who you're kissing. And but I'm just excited to be back, Mike. How you been, brother?
Good, man. Good. Recovering from a rough Super Bowl loss, but other than that, I got a sick kid in the other room watching Marvel shows. But
Yeah.
other than that, man, I'm feeling pretty thrilled about the potential of what I see God doing in a variety of spaces.
Yeah,
How about
that's
you, man?
awesome.
How you doing?
Yeah, love you, brother. Sorry about your kiddo being sick again. I know we had an amazing vacation together last week in Florida, and by the time this is airing, probably a week or two will have passed. But man, talking about greeting each other with holy kisses, it was amazing time just to be together and celebrate together, rest together, get some sun, throw some footballs on the
Hmm.
beach, and get all like sand rashed up. A lot of sand
Hmm.
rashes.
Yeah, dude, I think maybe the holy kiss thing for us outside of the European context or Middle Eastern context is probably more like a chest bump or like a bear hug, a big squeeze.
I'm getting a picture of the
Um,
top gun, greasy chest, like out on the beach, people like jumping up and chest bumping each other.
was it along came Polly with like the super wet, hairy chest on the basketball court? I forget.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah, it's and
So,
I do think that what it speaks to, Jeff, is more than acquaintances because you're not
yeah.
going up and bear hugging. I mean, I've done it by accident
Hmm.
before,
Yeah.
but you're not going up and bear hugging strangers and
Hmm.
showing physical affection like a hug or an embrace, deeper connection. That happens when you aren't just
Hmm.
attending an event or going to a service or sitting in a classroom,
Hmm.
but there's a deeper level of connection going on. You feel like we're friends, maybe
Yeah.
dare I say we're family,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And I don't know if we need to totally give up on the kiss. I mean, come on, like Turkish culture. I know our friend Foy in Florida. Foy's listening. He's always giving kisses. He's kissing my wife, bro. Like we saw him first thing out of the gates in Florida. He's up there kissing my wife on the cheek. I'm like, bro, that's my wife. That's totally appropriate because
That's
we know Foy's heart.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of know your audience, man. Like it's if I started kissing people in my neighborhood that I was hanging out with, they'd be like, I don't want to be a part of whatever you guys are doing.
Put
I
aside.
think I think it I think you have to kind of meet people where they're at. There are some
Yeah.
people that are uncomfortable with hugs, but man, for other people, Jeff, you give like a really good hug and they just start bawling
Right. Right.
because they're so hurting, lonely, isolated,
Yeah.
and they feel genuinely loved by a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
For other people,
Or they don't know what to
whether
do with
they've
it.
been or they don't know what to do with it, or if they've been abused, victimized, a hug can make them very uncomfortable.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think really it isn't about the hug or the kiss. I think really what it's about is a deeper level of connection with
Yeah.
another person.
Yeah. Well,
And you
yeah, yeah,
have to
totally.
contextualize, but yeah, I think it's deeper connection, bro, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep. Yep. And before we get too deep in the weeds, I want to know, just give me a story, Mike, or you've seen some of this happening lately, like kind of encapsulate this kind of idea of greeting one another that is like deeper than just like, oh, hey, man, you know. How do you see this modeled in Philly, like where you're at? Or do you have a story kind
I,
of around this, or what? Give me something real.
yeah, I don't know that it's really a story as much as it's just like normative. It's culture,
Hmm.
meaning like it, there's not a story of the kiss or the hug. I think it's more there's such a deep connection with the people that we're hanging with that when we see each other, we give each other a big hug. We're
Yeah.
we're embracing each other. We're happy to see each other, right?
Hmm.
Like when people come in, there's a hug. When they leave, there's a hug. Like we're this past week, it was sharing Super Bowl experience with a group of friends that we are screaming and high fiving and dancing and then crying and then get the crap out of my house, whatever.
Yeah.
I
All
mean, that's all a part of like a shared
the
experience,
range of
which was
emotions. Yeah.
honestly, it was, man, it's deeply connective. It's more than just like these are church congregants that we attend events with and have a Bible
Hmm.
study in a home, but we don't really know each other. You see the full range of emotions because you're eating and you're laughing and you're
Hmm.
dancing and I'm flailing my arms like an eagle
Yeah.
and we're chanting and we're clanking glasses and then we're
Hmm.
like depressed and frustrated and people are walking out, but it's like a shared journey, man. It's
Yeah.
like doing life together, loving each other as family.
There you go.
And I think that's the point, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back a bit in the conversation about some like just super simple things I've seen lately, that I think really do a good job of kind of portraying this whole idea of true greeting, like really being happy. You mentioned it, happy to see each other. So as we're again in Florida last week together, coming back to Minnesota, we're all kind of depressed. Like, oh my goodness, 85-degree weather to like 12-degree weather. No, thank you. So already feeling depressed. Yesterday took my kids into town on our day off and went to the gym. Had a good workout with my little guys, my three little boys. And afterwards, my friend in our micro church, he's one of our core, just super solid guys, in the company that I chaplain with. He's one of our engineers, one of our brightest engineers. He's from Mexico, has a degree from Mexico, came up to the States. Just an amazing guy. Obaldo is his name. Well, anyways, he says, "Hey, Jeff, I want to mentor your son, Jason, in electronics." So he went out and bought him all this gear. Like he got him like, I don't know, a multimeter and soldering gun and all this kind of stuff. And yesterday when we dropped him off, he came out of his apartment. We immediately just gave each other a huge hug because we felt, just like you said, super happy to see each other. Like there's no, it's just how we feel about each other. We love each other. And so we gave each other a big hug. Jason gave him a big hug. He's basically like an uncle to Jason now because he like taught him how to solder like electronic, what was it, like an electronic, some kind of a control or something, like it had some wires that were missing, so he soldered them back together. Then he showed him how to like use his multimeter to plug into our outlet in our house. And I'm like, Jason, don't burn our house down. But he like plugged it into our outlet in our house and read the temperature of our house and read the voltage of our house. And he's all kinds of fired up and just this kind of love, between Obaldo and us to hug each other. I mean, his whole family is like our family. I think that whatever you do to greet each other, whether it's a kiss, hug, handshake, high five, I don't know, oil check, whatever it is, I think the core of it has to be. I see that reaction. The core of it has to be greeting. Like this Greek word, the apostaste. It's like a Greek word that, um, if you look up the Greek behind the word greeting, my wife and I were just talking about this. It's like instead of unsheathing a sword, the verb is to actually put a sword back in its sheathing. It's like to put away your sword and show a sign of peace to one another. And I think that's at the heart of it. It's just got to be: are we giving peace to each other when we see each other, or are we just like, oh, whatever, Joe showed up, oh, hey, Joe, what is it, doesn't kind of make sense to just say, hey, Joe, how's it going? Or should you get up and give Joe a hug, or make sure he knows you appreciate him in some way? What do you think on that?
Yeah, man, I think people can feel the genuineness. So when you feel overwhelmed with joy that you're sharing life or an experience with another person, we don't have to be apathetic or robotic. Uh, it's okay to let people see your emotion. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to cry. It's okay to grab someone and give them a hug. It's okay with a tear coming down your face, being like, I appreciate you. Like it's good to show our passion, emotion, and love for one another, which I think is the point.
Mm-hmm.
It, it's not about, I just need to hug more people to be obedient to this Bible verse, and then people can see through your inauthenticity because you're just going through the motion. I think it speaks to the raw. When you describe your friend Ubaldo, what I heard was a person that you love,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and you're not afraid for that person to know that you love them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think sometimes we don't show our love to other people, whether it's a hug or a high five or a word of encouragement or emotion that we share with another person, a tear. I think part of why we don't show that is because we're afraid of being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
We put our walls up. Um, we guard ourselves against other people
Mm-hmm.
because of however we felt disappointed by people relationally. And I think there is a vulnerability in showing real love and emotion and passion for other people. But it's worth it, man.
Yeah.
I think we can't just live in, I mean, your son can live in robotics because he likes robotics, but we can't be robotic about our love and passion for other people. It's
Yeah.
got to be real,
Yeah.
raw emotion going on, man,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
We
So
should cry. We should weep with those who
right.
weep,
Right.
rejoice with those who rejoice,
Mm-hmm.
scream and like show a little bit of light,
Mm-hmm.
man,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
and we're pretty used to. I think in the Western. So I lived in Turkey, and like I said, people kiss each other all the time. But even that can be taken as just a formal sign of like, well, that's just what we do in Turkey. We kiss each other. You don't really love me. You're just being polite, right? And so you got to look for even in Turkish culture, even though they kiss each other all the time, they have to find ways to show each other, no, really, I appreciate you, friend. Like you mean a lot to me. And I think that's what, when I read this command to greet one another with a holy kiss, for me personally, I'm trying really hard, even friends like you, Mike, like brother, I love you. Like you're my best friend, Mike. And so, I, I so affirm our friendship and our connection and our relationship. And without that, Mike, it would be a miserable life, honestly.
Mm.
Um, and so I'm trying to get better at what I tapping into that emotion right now is like I'm trying to get better at that because I think we grew up as little boys where it was like you should not tap into that emotion. Like it should
Hmm.
it should you need to put a cap on that because that's just not what little boys in America do. you know, um, I
Hmm.
don't know thoughts on that at all, or am I just getting all emotional and
No,
super
I
sensitive?
think I think it's great and true. I mean, I tell Jackie that have really great thoughts about other people. I just don't tell them.
Yeah.
And so if there's maybe a command that I struggle with as a very low shepherd, it's that I feel strong love, emotion, and appreciation for people, and oftentimes don't communicate it with them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And if we're not careful about that, Jeff, like being a let's go create apostolic movement thinker, if I don't communicate love, appreciation, and enjoyment of other people,
Mm-hmm.
they're just going to feel used for
Yeah.
the sake of
Yeah.
advancement.
Yep. Yep.
And that's not my heart. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
actually love their friendship and connection and building together. Because I get to do it with friends like you. Like,
Right.
that's what makes it beautiful.
Yep.
I just oftentimes don't share that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this command, this one another, this call, this plea is about we should do that more.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
actually voice it, right?
Right.
Like
And
actually show it.
right. And if all you're doing is going to a church service with your brothers and sisters in Christ, or doing like even a micro church gathering once a week, whatever the thing that you go to once a week or even twice a week, like, does that really communicate authentic love to your brother and sister? Like, do you have time to actually do that? And my contention over the course of this whole one another's is no, like this has to be in our daily practices. Like, who am I going to reach out to today with a holy kiss, whether it's a text message or a phone call or, hey, let's go get lunch. We had a breakfast a few weeks ago with some friends in our micro church, and they're like, okay, Jeff, what's the agenda? I'm like, there is no agenda. It's just friendship. And it's so sad because it was totally telling about me. Like, I'm way too hardcore on my people. Like, I got to chill out and just like enjoy a breakfast with my friends because I love them. It was really telling about how they view our relationship. It was
I mean,
beautiful.
this is part of why we did a vacation for Creo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is part of our that one of our values is to have parties, to have fun together, to rest together. And I think it isn't just it isn't like a tricky strategy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because we actually like each other and we enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
And of course, a byproduct of we love each other, we connect with each other, and we enjoy each other's company results in you want to build with people you like.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not using vacation so that we can be more productive later on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the two work hand in hand.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to appreciate productivity, making a difference, and moving, but you also want to appreciate the joy of just delighting in other people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's it,
That's
right?
it. That's it.
And so there is a beauty in that. And there's almost, and Jeff, you know this, man, we talk about this. There's almost in religious circles, it feels like we've wasted time if all we do is have fun together.
Right. Absolutely.
But wait, there wasn't a training. There was no Bible study, no
Mm-hmm.
teaching. Like, what's the point of this? Well, the point of this is that we enjoyed each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
almost seen as a sin in the church world,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's like almost seen as a sin.
Yeah. You have fun together. And I know a lot of church people that are in our monastic community, and they'll come and have fun with us. And they'll be like, but when are we going to go deep? Or, when are we going to get spiritual? And, and I know you're good at saying
Mhm.
this, Mike, because we've been around for a few years now together, but it's all spiritual. Having fun and just showing people that you love them, and having a breakfast that doesn't have an agenda just because you love each other. That's deeply spiritual. That's God celebrates just friendship and emotion and sincere love for each other. That's what we're talking about when you greet each other, holy kiss. That's a command to truly feel the emotional weight of your relationships with each other. and do it in whatever way you want. If you want to kiss, sure, kiss, whatever. But make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're having time to express that real, sincere, heartfelt love for each other. And that's
I I
deeply
think
spiritual.
I think I think that's spot on, Jeff, that the Son of Man came eating and drinking, and he chose to sacramentalize bread and wine around the table to
Yeah.
be done in remembrance of him. And so it was a meal, Sabbath rest. You're telling me that's not spiritual? One of the Ten Commandments that we would rest and recreate and relax.
Mhm. Right.
It's a deeply spiritual practice. I think part of the crime for us is that we've said discussion and learning and acquiring knowledge is spiritual, but rest and playfulness and meals are not.
Right.
It's just not
Exactly.
true, man. It's not,
Exactly.
it's incorrect. And
Hmm.
it doesn't look at all like the ministry of Jesus. And the
Right.
ministry of Jesus
He took guys
included
everywhere.
all of those.
Yeah.
It was all of it.
Yeah. Took guys on hikes. Let's get in this boat. Let's go to this person's house. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's enjoy a journey together. They're doing all kinds of fun things, fishing, all that kind of, especially fishing, mind you, because we know the disciples were all from Minnesota. Hey, real quick.
Fingers fishing poles too, didn't they?
Yeah. Yes. Hey, so we always talk about the antithesis of this. So I don't think the opposite or antithesis is like not kissing each other or being a douchebag to each other. I mean, obviously we don't want to be douchebags to each other, but what is the what is the antithesis of greeting, truly greeting each other with a holy kiss? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the opposite is I just wanna go to church and hear a good uplifting sermon and leave.
Mm,
I think that's the antithesis is not developing deep connections that stir up your heart and soul.
yeah. Wow, that's good. That's good. So basically, consuming religious goods and services and forgetting, like, no, this is really about the brothers and sisters that God has put right next to me. Could I say it like that?
You could say it like this: if you say that you love God and you don't love your brother, you're a liar.
Mm, there you go.
And so I think there's a we do that. We say that we love God because we attend religious gatherings, but we don't ever develop something that outsiders would call
Mm,
a loving relationship
hmm.
with a brother or sister.
That's probably
And
why Jesus got on the Pharisees' case so much, don't you think? Like they were
I
all
think it
about,
makes us liars, bro. It makes
yeah,
us liars.
yeah,
If we're like, yeah, I love God, but there's no deeper connection outside of religious observance, rituals, practices, programs, and you
yeah,
go, I think you're lying. I
yeah.
don't see love
Yep.
in you for your brother. There's something missing here.
Bro, I just counted in Romans 16, this chapter we're talking about. Paul's talking to, greet Aquila and Priscilla, greet Chloe's household, greet Stachys's household, all those greetings, and that word apostaste. And my wife this morning called it applesauce day. She's like, applesauce day, what is that? But it's applesauce day, the greeting word. 21 times. 21 times in Romans 16. 21 times, like by far the chapter of the Bible that's got that most greeting stuff. So I would encourage people to just read through Romans 16 and be like, holy cow, Paul truly loves this network in Rome, these people. He has individual connections with these people, and this love is just flowing out of him, and he's telling people to greet each other. And obviously that's where we get the command to greet each other, the holy kiss. But I just think it's, I mean, all over Paul's letters. I mean, it's just crazy how much he wants us to do this. Yet, like you said earlier, yeah, I'm good. I think they know that I love them. So I'm pretty sure they know that I appreciate them. Oh, it's
Hmm.
challenging.
Yeah, and I think to your credit, Jeff, I know you said that you can be about business and advancement and moving forward. But I think to your credit, those who know you would say, whenever I'm on a call with Jeff, he's asking about family, wife, kids. Like the people that know that you care deeply for individual people and you're asking about them the same way that Paul did in that Romans 16.
Mm.
And people feel cared for and loved with that kind of thing, man. It's good.
Trying, bro. I need to slow down with undiagnosed ADD. You know me, I need to slow down, and you've challenged me on that. So I just think talking we as Creole Collective now, we as a group of startuppers and creators and outside the box thinkers, we really need to take some time during our days to slow down and send the extra text message. I know you're good at that, Mike, as well. Make the extra phone call. I know a couple of our listeners that just made a phone call. Yes, not myself included, but another friend called another friend and just totally out of the blue, just encouraged him and spoke love into his heart. And so, yeah. Hey, Mike, let's tell people how they can experience some of this love with Creole Collective, should we?
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you give them the website address that they can go to? The one website
To rule them all.
To rule them all that
Yeah,
we're sending
okay.
them to.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I would love to, because that's what your brother does. Serves you, Mike. I serve you.
I feel like you're waiting every podcast for me to give the website.
I'm waiting patiently. One day I think you're just going to be this ultra like type A, like non-hippie. It just is all about business. And no, I'll be that guy. No, what we're talking about, guys and gals, is creolecollective.org/create is the one website to rule them all. Because if you don't do the /create, you're just going to go to our website. But if you do creolecollective.org/create, you're going to see like everything that's coming up, like the latest 1 day, 2 day. You're going to see the webinars coming up. You're going to see the latest gathering online that's coming up. You're going to see the YouTube, the podcast, our blog, if you're a reader. So everything, we put everything in one simple landing page, creolecollective.org/create. And if we could, Mike, we would put a button on there that was the Holy Kiss button. And it would just like people would feel electronically this digital holy kiss right on their cheek. Would that be cool?
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds sloppy, bro. I think is that like in addition to the like, the thumb up,
yeah, the kiss,
the heart,
the kiss emoji.
Yeah.
We need the kiss emoji or something.
Yeah, that's funny.
we are so thankful, right, Mike? This people are listening. Hey, you had a couple real quick before we sign off. 1 or 2 people gave you some feedback on the podcast. You want to share quickly what they said? Because we love the feedback.
Yeah, they were mostly like making jokes, but it helped me to know that they were listening, which is great.
We'll take the jokes.
I'm just surprised that we have an audience, which is cool.
Yeah. Do you remember one of the jokes? Was it about like the crappy audio quality or?
No, like something in the content, but it was more, you could tell people were paying attention and getting something out of it.
Yeah.
I just think that part of our culture is that we have a culture where people really do see each other as friends and love to banter back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I take it as a huge compliment when people are joking around with me about stuff.
I literally would go crazy if we didn't have this weekly time to connect, bro. So I love you, my friend. Big holy kiss from my screen to yours. Lands right on your sweet Philadelphian cream cheese face. You don't do cream cheese. It's the whiz. Buddy. I forgot. It's the whiz, not the cream. You guys don't eat cream cheese, do you? It's all about the whiz on your sandwiches.
Yeah, no, we do on bagels. Just not on a cheesesteak.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Little big sloppy cream cheese with whiz kiss to you, my friend.
You just got to know cream cheese, bagel, whiz, cheesesteak.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
One day I'm going to have one with you in Philly and then give you a kiss with whiz all over my beard.
That sounds awful.
It's coming. Wait for it.
But
And we're gonna have our
but
wide
having
one.
one together sounds awesome. Yeah,
We're getting off the rails. We better sign up. Love to you all. We're excited to connect with you this month, next month. Call us, email us, message us. We want to make sure you're helping others around you greet each other with love and affection in their hearts. So please connect with us. Give us some feedback, some questions. If you have an idea for the podcast, we'd love to hear from any and all of you. Love to you. Love to you, Mike.
love you too, man.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time.